belongs in a normal profession. But then there are many people who never wanted to be teachers for different reasons. We are here to work on that. We are here to give you career guidance. We are here to give you more skills on what you've already been trained at the university so that you go and succeed outside in life. So ladies and gentlemen, please let's join our hands as we welcome the Vice Chancellor to open for us officially before we begin to say a lot of words. Doctor, you're welcome.
Thank you, MC. Good morning, everyone. Let me start by recognizing the protocol. I don't know how it is, but this is how I've listed it. The VVOB team, headed by Mr. Bram Thibault. The keynote speakers here present. Our visitors from National Instructors College Abilonino, and those from NTCU Nyama. The panelists, the distinguished panelists who are here. The Gulu University coordinating team. I would like the team to stand up because they are the host, they should be known. Dr. Odama, Stephen, Dr. Chaya Ongwech, Dr. Walter Odongo, and Dr. Bismarck Okumu. Thank you. The Guild President and the entire Guild government, the student body, specifically from Bachelor of Business Education, Bachelor of Science Education, Agriculture, all the lecturers, the senior staff who are here, my colleagues of Gulu University, and all the distinguished invited guests. I take this opportunity to welcome you to Gulu University on this very important occasion. Gulu University, maybe before I go to talk about Gulu University, you need to know me. I'm called Dr. Collins Okello. I'm the Dean of the Faculty of Agriculture and Environment. Today I'm wearing heavy shoes, not just one. I think I'm overlapping shoes. You can imagine that person who is wearing shoes and again wearing another shoe on top of it. In that, what I'm saying is I'm wearing my own shoe as the Dean of the Faculty of Agriculture and Environment. I'm also wearing the shoes of the Deputy Vice Chancellor, who has traveled to Mbarara for a workshop at Bishop Stewart University in Mbarara. I'm also wearing the shoes of the Vice Chancellor, Professor George Dadapenjuru, who has traveled and is having an engagement in Germany. So you can see the challenge I'm having. Then I'm also wearing shoes to talk to the professionals. Teachers are professionals and they are critical. I respect them so much. I know they subject their students under studies under what they call teaching practice. And when they go to school, they observe each step by step. And I feel I'm being subjected to that kind of observation. I've never gone through the teacher training, but I'm teaching university students. Okay, so you'll bear with me, but I take full responsibility on behalf of Gulu University management, on behalf of the entire university staff and students, to warmly welcome and the Career Guidance Day. We have signed an MOU with the VVOB, and we have been having activities. Our MOU aims at transforming the way we deliver teaching and learning among specifically Bachelor of Science Education Agriculture students and also those of Bachelor of Business Education, using a transformative model or method called project-based learning. And we have so far started off so well. We have so far done curriculum review of 2 programs, actually 2 or 3, I think there are 3. Bachelor of Science Education, Bachelor of Science with Education Biological, Bachelor of Science with Education Physical, and also Bachelor of Science with Education, Agriculture. So let us clap for them for supporting this activity. Thank you so much, VVOB. We have also had other activities. There were gender training which have already been done earlier, and today we are doing a training on career guidance. And to us, this is a very important training. Now, why is it very important? It is very important because we believe this training effectively. I would like to quote Nelson Mandela, who said, "Education is the most powerful tool or weapon, I think the most powerful weapon to change the world." And for us, as Gulu University, we see education as the most powerful weapon to transform the world. The challenge we have is, what is the quality of the education? What is the efficiency of the education? How do we deploy our resources, and how much benefit do we get from them? And how effective is our education to the young people? And this will be mainly affected by our mindset, the attitude, the mindset. If you come and you're doing education and you have a negative attitude, you'll never be a transformer of the world. And it is through this kind of career guidance training that we believe we can change our mindset and we can become positive contributors to the social transformation of our nation. As Gulu University, we have noted and we have started a long journey, a leadership journey in the region, in the East African region, not just Uganda, to transform the way we teach. Previously, you know, our educational system, which is based on recall, and the university also learned from Praire's work in Latin America. We have been implementing what Prairie called the colonial education system, where the learner is seen as a bank account. You know, if you have a bank account and the more you deposit and the more can be saved in that bank account, the better for you. Because when the day for withdrawing your account balance comes, the more you will take home for your projects at home. So our system was looking at a student as a vessel, where we just pick the knowledge and drop there, and we keep compiling. The student who can store the biggest amount of knowledge, which is assumed to be entirely from the teacher, and then brings it out at the end of the semester, gets 90%, would be the best student. But that student may not have an ability to critically think, is just regurgitating, to critically think, to cause any transformation in the world. So as Gulu University, we learned that that was our biggest mistake, and we started that journey around 2018, and we have developed a model called East African Model for Transformative Learning with the other universities like Tanzania, from the teacher-centered method of teaching to the student-centered learning. Here, we believe that the student is not entirely an empty. We believe that knowledge is co-created. And we believe that transformation of a graduate is through participation in the learning, the teaching, and the learning process. For that, we have transformed our teaching methods. It is a continuous process, but we are transforming our methods so that students are active participants in the classroom. They should lead the process. And in that, we are seeing a big transformation among our students. Many have become critical thinkers. Many are problem solvers in their own discipline. many understand the community problems and come out with the suggest solutions instead of waiting to be told what to do. So that is the transformation we are in. And I thank VVOB and all the guest speakers who have come here to support us in this very important journey. With this said, I think here we are mainly in the field of, especially science. Business education is also launch of the Uganda Institution of Professional Engineers branch for Gulu branch. And we had a meeting similar to this. I was also representing the Vice Chancellor. I made one observation. Majority, almost 70, actually 80 to 90% were males. And today, I'm also a bit concerned because a big role to play, and VVOB have seen in your program, you look at the entire value chain of education. I want to quote a little child of mine at home. She made one remark which I cannot forget. I don't know if the teachers agree with it. They say the girl child, when they are very young, they learn much faster than the boy child. In the classroom where they are and in the other classrooms, the girls are not struggling with learning how to read, they speak English well. But when they reach higher classes, P6, P7, they start running away from science. We are working with Dr. Kumu and Dr. Dama here. We have learned design without gender lens, without the gender perspective. We need you teachers to help us to encourage the girl child to also enroll in science. We want cooking stoves, but we want cooking stoves which are designed by women or with participation of women. We want businesses which are also gender responsive, taking into account how many hours do you need as a mother and how many to take care of the family and also to run the business. And unless women participate in business or business education, we will miss out. The same with agriculture education. So I thank VVOB for making effort to take also care of the gender aspect of the training. So with these few remarks, I would like to thank all of us for coming in big number for this very important meeting. And we believe that meeting will contribute significantly towards our vision of transforming the education, the way we teach, and the end results will be seen in the lives of the people out there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Doctor, for your nice and wonderful speech. And also thank you for now opening and welcoming us officially into the program. My dear students, year ones and year two, you see, if you join Gulu University as a teacher, you're in a problem. Do you know why? Because you must go back and transform the community. Changing lives and transforming lives is never simple. And that is why Brown Tubod is here with the VBO to do what? To change your life, right? Thank you so much. People are too serious, people are too quiet. Please turn to your neighbor and say, tea is there. Just turn and say, break tea will be there. Tubod, the floor is yours. Thank you so much. You're welcome.
Thank you, MC, for handing me the word. And I'm also sometimes struggling with the protocol, so kindly forgive me if I make a small mistake here and there. Good morning, Mr. Semakula, representing Ministry of Education and Sports today. Morning, Mr. Muwange, the keynote speaker of this morning. Good morning, Mr. Vice Chancellor, Principal from the National Instructors College of Abilonino. And I believe we also have Mr. Principal of the National Teachers College of Unyama with us. Good morning, lecturers, professors of Gulu University, colleagues of VVOB, partners, Students, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Bram Thibault. I'm the education manager at VVOB, and I'm based in Kampala, but I've lived in Gulu for 2 years before moving to Kampala, so I know Gulu a little bit, and I'm always very happy to come back, such as today. I will shed a little bit of light on the purpose of today's career day, but allow me to make a little detour, and I will come. Some of you may not have heard about VVOB before, or maybe you have heard the name, but you don't know really what VVOB is all about and what we are doing. So kindly allow me a few moments to introduce VVOB. VVOB is a Belgian not-for-profit organization. Our head office is based in Brussels, and we are working in 8 countries worldwide, including Uganda, also Kenya, Rwanda, Zambia, South Africa, Vietnam, Cambodia, and Ecuador. And we are an NGO working in the field of education. But there are so many NGOs working in education. So what makes VVOB special? And that is, I would say there are 2 components there. One has to do with what we are doing, and the other one with how we are working. And allow me to start with the second aspect, the how we are working. Now, we believe that it is our role to support the duty bearers in the field of education and sports. This college do with what we are doing. Advisors for quality education. And when talking about quality education, we believe that 2 factors are very crucial. One is the quality of teachers, and the other one is the quality of the school leaders, meaning the principals, the head teachers, and so on. They provide the conducive environment, or they build the conducive environment. The teachers and the school leaders, there are so many other factors that also contribute to the quality of education. I think about so that's what university primary, and to which the Dean of Agriculture already referred. And that means that we are focusing on leap stands. So as the, and why those 2 fields? We believe that for the Ugandan economy, agriculture is still those 2 domains, and ideally where they overlap. And that's where we talk about agripreneurship, meaning overall what we are aiming for is that learners from TVET schools, but also from O-level, and when they graduate eventually, many of them will end up in the field of agriculture. The idea is that they will have the knowledge, the networks, and the motivation or the aspiration to self-employ or to be employed in the field of agriculture and to be successful there. And that is where the role of the teachers come in. In order for those learners to have those skills, to have the networks and the contacts with the world of work, and to have that aspiration to be successful in the field of agriculture, that is where the teachers come in. In order for those teachers, which are you, the students here with us, in a few years we hope that many of you will pick up the role of agriculture teacher or entrepreneurship teacher, that you will be able to deliver agriculture and entrepreneurship education in an effective way and in a gender responsive way. And I know I'm making a long story here, but I'm actually coming to my point now. We believe that there are two methodologies or two pedagogies, so to speak, that are very important. The first one, the Dean of Agriculture has already referred to. It is called project-based learning. Since the reform of the O-level curriculum a few years ago, projects take up an important place in the curriculum. And we believe that projects are a good approach, a good method, a good pedagogy to learn. And we believe that teachers need to move away from the talk and chalk method of teaching and be directed to a more concrete, practical way of teaching. And literature indicates that project-based learning is one such methodology. So that is why, together with Gulu University, together with the lecturers, the professors, of the students of Bachelor in Business Education and Bachelor in Science Education Agriculture, need to be trained in how to deliver project-based learning, so that once you are graduated and once you are employed as teachers, you can apply this methodology with your future learners in the classroom and in the field. The second methodology, in addition to project-based learning, is what we call study and career guidance. And that is where we make the link with today's career day. In study and career guidance, we try to make the link with what we call the world of work. We believe that it is important to make an alignment between the world of education and the world of work, so that learners and students, once they graduate and they end up being employed in whatever capacity, that they have the skills, that they have the competences that are required by the world of work. There should be an alignment between those two, so that during your training, during your studies, you are already building those competences, building that knowledge that will be required later in work. And we believe that one way of doing it is by organizing career talks. And organizing career talks, typically that is by reaching out to a businessman or a businesswoman or a producer in agriculture that is successful, and to come to school and testify about his or her work as an entrepreneur, as a producer. To do what? To inspire the learners so that they embrace a future career within the field of agriculture, within the field of agripreneurship. And that is similar to the objective of today. Today, Gulu University and VVOB are hosting a career day for essentially you, the students of Bachelor in Business Education and Bachelor in Science Education Agriculture. So essentially, we are bringing to you role models from within the world of work who will share their experiences with you, who will explain what is necessary, which skills, which competences are critical to succeed within the world of work, specifically in the field of education, so that you as future teachers can embrace your teaching profession, which is a very noble profession, because Uganda can only develop itself if it has a highly qualitative education system. So that is the purpose of today's Career Day, and let me finish here because I think I've already been talking quite a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Brown Chibot, for the wonderful presentation, which was consumed, I think, by everybody. Isn't it? He was loud and clear. I thought he would swallow his words like a white. So I was busy to note down. But I picked only one thing, that is the word pedagogy. By the way, when I joined year 1, 2013, I met a very big man called Dr. John Bismarck, who came to teach CTP 1101. And the first word was pedagogy, synagogy, andragogy. And we asked him, what is that one? And he said, that is what makes you a teacher. Some year 1 ran and never came back. And we are here. Thank you so much, Doctor. At this juncture, we are inviting a senior citizen, as I told you. We are inviting a senior citizen, people who are very good in getting latest updates within the country. Normally, when our president comes to speak, he normally says he loves science and business. If Uganda must move forward, we must embrace a lot of business, and then what? Science. So the gentleman coming is a friend of Museveni because he's a scientist and a businessman. We'll have a speech from Mr. Muhonge Simon Peter, who has been an entrepreneur for the last 33 years, running profitable and sustainable businesses with the passions of monitoring others to show above average. A teacher by calling and profession, is also a business mentor with the Enterprise Uganda, an NGO dealing with mentoring Ugandan businesses to grow sustainably. Is the proprietor and principal of the Eagles Schools, the kindergarten day and boarding schools with the branches at Busega and Chengera, funded in the year 2008. Sir, you're welcome. As he comes to speak, allow me to recognize the presence of NTC Unyama, being represented by Mr. Samson Oyo. Please rise up for recognition. Thank you so much for coming. We have Oyogi Jonal, also from Abilunino. Please, thank you for coming. We have Adia Rojois, who is a lecturer at the university. Please, madam, thank you for coming. We have Omon Terence, Head of Department of Agriculture. Please rise up for recognition. Thank you for coming. We have Okoya James, a lecturer, Faculty of Education, Gulu University. Please rise up for recognition. Thank you for coming. We have Okoyara Simon. Please, thank you for coming, a lecturer at Gulu University. I think those are the one for the meantime. Sir, you're welcome to speak to the audience.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. Fellow speakers, the university staff, guests from different colleges, university students, and everyone present, good morning once again. It's good to be at the university again. It's been a while since I was last in the classes of Makerere University. It's a great opportunity to talk to you, teachers and teachers in the making and those who are already teachers. And greatly, I want to thank VVOB for bringing me to Gulu for the very first time. I was born lived, married, worked, and been staying in Kampala all my life, but I'm happy to be in Gulu today for my very first time. I don't know, my slides are ready. Good. I'm very happy to be here to talk to you, fellow teachers. I am actually a teacher, as you will understand. My name is Simon Peter Muonge, and I'm the proprietor of the Eaglet Schools, a kindergarten, day and boarding primary schools. We have a branch in Busega along Masaka Road, for those of you who know Kampala. And we also have another branch at Chengera. Chengera is just 5 kilometers away from the Busega branch. Muonge Simon Peter is a graduate, and I graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Education in 2003, honors degree in Makerere University, and I taught in a few schools and for quite some little time. Muonge Simon Peter has done several trainings in the areas of business management, administration, some little bit of law, and many others that make me what I am today. I'm fortunate to have been doing business from the year 1990. Can you believe that? If I'm not mistaken, by that time I was actually 11 years old in primary 5. So having done business in the year 2000, when most of my friends were taking on law, others were taking on engineering, others were taking on all those prestigious courses, the way you call them, I learned in my heart that I had a special gift to be a teacher. So much as I was a businessman already, I enrolled for education. And guess what happened? Most of my friends laughed. People were asking me, why are you doing education? But I will tell you today where I am, as we shall end, all the people that laughed at me, they now admire me. Muonge Simon Peter, like I have told you, I realized the gap in education from the areas where I come from. And much as professional business, a graduate secondary school teacher, I realized that I have a special gift with young children. Children love me, I love them, and that's why when I went to start the first school, we began as a kindergarten. Later we became a primary school, a full primary school. And in 2019, we had actually run out of space. You know, land in Kampala is not as big as it is in Gulu. So we had 550 children, and the school was full to capacity. Then in 2019, that's when I went and founded another branch in Chengera, just 5 kilometers away. So as I speak, I am the proprietor of 2 schools. They are all called the Eaglet Schools, but we have a branch in Chengera and in Busega. Both schools are running very well under my leadership. And actually, before COVID, I was also a practitioner in real estate. Unfortunately, COVID, you know how it is organized some few things. And we had just opened a new branch. So I'm also a part-timer businessman with Enterprise Uganda. Some of you must have seen me so chichi. Enterprise training and what have you. So basically, that is a brief introduction about the person and this gentleman standing before you. I'm here to demystify the common proverb, the common story. Most of you, when I think our MC was saying, most people don't want to become teachers. And I will also be frank to let you know that before I learned the beauty and the advantages of studying and doing education, I actually never loved education. But as I speak today, I love education. I have been to I don't know how many countries. I'm always speaking before people because of the education I got. Most people say that education is for failures. That's why most of you, when you go back and tell your friends they're doing education, and they are doing business management. They feel like you are a little bit lower than them. Most people think that you can't actually succeed through education. Others say teachers are supposed to be poor. Is that right? Is that right? That's what most people say. Teachers are poor. And others say that studying education was my last option. I think I heard somebody say that before we began. Me, I was going to this, and then they pushed me into education. Unlike all that, I actually went to education when I realized the good and the beauty in education. Before you is a successful teacher, a well-accomplished teacher in very, very many areas and fields. Why should somebody study? And what are the benefits of studying education? I'm told most of you here are teachers in the making. Am I right? Okay, so I'm talking to the right crowd. Are we teachers in the making? And some others are already teachers. So me, I'm a teacher, and a teacher talking to teachers in the making. I remember in the year 2000, when we are starting this century, at Makerere University, we then had I think it was the Dean, School of Education, Mr. Sekama, told us something that I've realized, that unlike other professions, as we speak, this country has a lot of lawyers. And many of them don't even have employment. Because how many lawyers do we need? How many lawyers do we need? You may find 1 or 2 lawyers are enough. You understand? Most engineers have no business. But as the population grows, we shall always need teachers. Are you getting the point? We can never run out of the market of teachers. Teachers is a noble profession, like somebody mentioned. And anytime, as you know, I was driving to Gulu here, I would see that really the population is rising. Do you realize that? And as the population grows, the market of teachers does what? As the population grows, the market of teachers grow. There are many things which can be automated. They are actually professions that phase out. But teachers can never phase out. You cannot have a computer to teach your child alone. There will always be the need of an instructor or a teacher. So, the market of schools and teachers will never run out because the population is also growing. The education course opens up the teacher's mind to learn and do many other things. I introduced myself here, I've told you I've done some things in law and whatever. It's because when you learn to be a teacher, when you embrace the profession of a teacher, when you're allowed to go through the training of a teacher, your brain becomes sharp. And there are many, many other things you can learn. Are you getting the point? The beauty of mentoring others is something you cannot compare to anything. Just imagine seeing a child coming in kindergarten, then you see a child developing through primary school, secondary school. When you find them, how do you feel? Well, knowing that child went through your hands. There are many professions where people study just to make money. But with education, besides making money, you make that lasting impact on the lives of children. You realize that sometime you hear somebody in a big office talking about you as their former teacher, as somebody who made them to shine in life. So the beauty of mentoring others and seeing children learn skills in your hands is something I call priceless. People often ask, why are teachers young, looking young? Normally when I go and I tell people I've been doing business for that 33 years, they say, but mister, you look like you are still at university. Do I look like something close to that? So teachers are always young because our profession is adding value unto others. There are professions where you just make money out of it, but because ours is noble, it touches the lives of people. That's why I think we always enjoy that. Teachers are respected in society And if you go into investing in education, you actually touch very many people's lives. As I speak to you now, I'm a direct employer of about 70 people. I think that's a good thing. Not so? It's a good thing. So when you go into investing in education, you touch the community. I had Gulu University, one of their targets is to transform the community. When I was coming, at first I had lost at the location. I went to the university. I was able to see around, and I'm seeing the development that is coming, I think because of the establishment of Gulu University. So schools touch very many people's lives. You employ very many people. You pay a lot of taxes, by the way. That's another thing I have not told you. Every year I pay something between 60 to 100 million shillings to this government of Uganda. Is that not good enough? Huh? Is that not good enough? It's very good, eh? So somebody said I'm a friend of Museveni. I think in that regard, eh? I've seen very many roads made in Gulu. I believe some of the taxes I pay end up here or go to Kampala. Eh? Anyway, develop the country which is called Uganda. So now I'm here to talk to you. How do you position yourself to achieve the success in education? People say teachers are poor. People say you cannot make it in education. It's because there are things they don't always look at. I'm going to share a few points. One is called passion and love. The second is called patience. I've talked about value addition and research. I have mentioned having vision and targets, embracing leadership skills, and I would say being involved in many things and harness every opportunity. I request to have the second slide. Okay. Now, if you're going to make it in the field of education, you must be somebody who loves what you do. I love teaching. I enjoy teaching. And because of that, you may love the success that I've achieved in life, but you must have the passion and the love for what you're doing. You get the point? So you must be passionate of what you do. As a teacher, you must invest time and resources. Am I too fast? Is that moderate? Okay, I'm used to. You must be willing to invest time. You cannot become a professional when you are dilly-dallying the profession. If we have chosen to be teachers, we must invest time in bettering and making our lives become better and improving ourselves. So you must invest time to master what you're doing. You must be willing to pay the price to do a good work. Education is an engaging profession. These days, like I've told you, I employ very many people. You see teachers, some of them don't want to scheme, they don't want to prepare. They think they're just going to get everything on what? On phone. Somebody has sent me notice from somewhere. So good teachers who are going to be successful must be willing to pay the price to do a good work. And those who are going to make it successful in education must also be willing to give in your best. In everything you're doing, every time you stand before children, every time you are given an opportunity to do something, always aim at being the best. You must have patience. We are teaching human beings. We are not teaching machines. As a teacher, you must be patient to the children you are teaching. You are not called a good teacher if the children you teach don't pass. Are you a good teacher? If you're going to be a teacher who is going to make a lasting impact, you must be patient to your learners. You must be patient to those ahead of you. You must be able to, must be willing to listen and learn. You must look beyond today. The world we are in is evolving seriously. Things were done 20 years ago is very different from how they are done today. So as a teacher, always aiming at looking beyond today. When you start in the profession, you start young, you start low, but as you move on and look beyond today, things continue to grow and become better. As a teacher, desire to grow beyond the prevailing circumstances. Look beyond today and desire to grow beyond the available, beyond the prevailing circumstances. Teachers, I want to ask you to always make sure you add value on yourselves by making research, by reading as much as you can. If you're going to be a teacher that makes a difference in the lives of many, you must be knowledgeable. You must be knowledgeable. You must take time in mastering what you're doing. You must take time to read and become, I've had very many professors here and doctors. You must be knowledgeable of what you're doing. Also, know what you do best. That's what I've talked about. If you're a teacher of science, if you're a teacher of agriculture, if you're a teacher of business, I think that's economics and something like entrepreneurship studies. So make sure you take time to understand what you're teaching. It's always good, wherever you are, we are talking about adding value to ourselves, to identify and solve the problems around you. We actually learn better if we get involved, if we get into solving some of the challenges. When you enroll in the schools where you be given a chance to work, make sure you don't run away from the challenges. Out of the challenges, you become a good and better teacher. I've talked about taking on new initiatives. I've heard when the Vice Chancellor was here, was talking about the new programs they have as Gulu University. Did you hear that? So as a teacher, wherever you go, in the schools you're going to be enrolled, make sure you're always willing to take on new initiatives. Much as something may not have been done before, when you're given a chance, ensure that it always takes things to another level. You should always meet or even exceed the expectations. If you have been taught and you have been told to teach up to 5 p.m., be the teacher that goes an extra mile. Be the teacher that does things far more than you are expected. You must be always seeking to learn something new. Teaching and life, they go hand in hand. And things keep on changing. All right? Technology keeps on changing. The world keeps on evolving. So be a teacher. To be a good teacher, you must be a good learner. You can't teach others if you don't learn. If you want to have success in education, you must have a vision and target. You must know what you want. I've had somebody here who is doing now a master's in career. Is it curriculum studies? I don't know how we began, but I've also seen very many teachers who began at certificate, who went to diploma, they went to graduate degree. Some have masters, and I've also seen somebody who began at a certificate, and as I speak, he has a doctorate. So know what you want. Set your goals and always work at keeping them. I've talked about looking beyond today. I've also talked about being intentional in everything you do. The next slide. Next slide, please. Okay. If you're going to be a teacher, successful teacher that makes a difference, you must always look forward to acquiring leadership skills. I think it is very obvious that the head teacher earns more than a class teacher. Is that right? Is that right? Under normal circumstances, assuming other factors remaining constant, the head teacher earns more than the deputy head teacher. Is that right? Eh? No interest science. Now that's politics. Assuming other factors remaining constant. So, like I've been saying, always look forward to acquiring leadership skills. If you're going to climb the ladder of education and be successful, you may begin as a co-teacher. I think you call them a subject teacher. Then from there, strive to be a class teacher. Strive to be a department head. Strive to be maybe director of studies. I don't know which titles you use this way. I don't know. But I think I'm on track. Director of studies, maybe deputy teacher. Deputy teacher academics. Deputy teacher administration. Deputy teacher what? Depending upon the size of the school. Then you must be able to strive to be a head teacher. Today I've told you I am leading 2 schools. Okay? I think don't just start from there and you are able to do what I do. I'm leading 2 schools, but I've allowed myself to go through to climb the ladder like I've told you. I've been able to harness and work on my leadership skills. That's why I can be in Gulu now, as work is also continuing in the schools. Actually, I don't always only come to Gulu. I fly out of Uganda for weeks, and things are moving. Yes. So be able to participate in every opportunity. Actually, if there's anything I want to talk about, be willing to participate in every opportunity. When I got a call from VVOB, I had a lot of programs for today, but I could not afford to lose this chance of coming to Gulu. I don't know how the story is going to end, but from here I may get very many friends. You understand? I may actually even get employees from here because I'm an employer. I may get very good contacts out of Gulu. I don't think now any time I come to Gulu I will struggle. I have now the vice chancellor, big man in Gulu. You understand? Now I've got my friend from Abinonino. I've not yet been there, but I've now gotten to know that. I've now gotten a new friend who's called Mr. Bram Tibo. You get the point? So before I leave here, I'll have very many contacts. And my network will do what? Will expand. Because I participate in every opportunity given. You understand? I would say, why should I go to Gulu? By the way, you have a very good city. Clap yourselves. The roads are being made everywhere. For us in Kampala, we first, you know what you do? We are making strikes. We are for roads to be done. My driver was asking me, what do these people do in Gulu? I said, my dear, they are blessed. Our roads in Kampala, you know what's happened. Those of you who see what's happening. Some of them have potholes that you can be able to swim through it. But my point is, participate in every opportunity. You may get to a school where they don't do it, where they do music. Me, I'm more of a talker than a singer. But even if I'm not a singer, I'm not a dancer, if I'm given a chance to do something, as far as music is concerned, you be involved. You never know the beauty and the connections it will get out of that. I'm looking at, okay, don't run from challenges, however hard they may be. I know it is stressful for the very first time, standing before children to teach. I've heard that some of you have done some schools practice. Can I see the hands? How did it feel the first time? It was good? You were shaking? You get hold of the book, and the book is dancing, Good morning, good morning. And the children are wondering, what's happened with the man? I am teacher. Did you experience that? Can somebody testify? Did we? Was it hard for the first time? Yes. It was hard. Okay. So don't run away from those challenges. A time will come if you take over every opportunity and you become like Mr. Muonge. Mr. Muonge can speak to thousands and tens of thousands of people without feeling any problem. So don't run away from that challenge. We shall overcome that. Always make yourself available for service. Always make yourself available for service. I'm talking about how can you succeed? How can you climb the ladder? How can you go to another level? As employers and leaders, we are always looking for people who are available, who are willing to take on new assignments. I've not talked much with the Vice Chancellor, but I think, do you experience the same? Do you want people who are available? You don't mind how qualified the professor may be if they are always busy. Every time complaining, a lot of work. They have loaded me now, some work. Sometimes I get letters from my staff. You know, I've been talking to the head teacher, but he has even given me another subject. Another class, he have added me another class. That's always the talk. But make yourself available for service. I think we are in the same line. Don't mind volunteering even when not asked. As you're going in the field, make yourself available. If they're looking for somebody to be the MC of the event, what should you say? I am? You said available. I've got my teacher from Dokoro. Mr. Ogwaras calls it available. So you call it available. Available. No matter. It means the same. So always be available. Available? Okay, you remember that. Either available or available. It means the same thing. When you go out there and you want to be successful, always focus on the major things. Don't focus on the minors. When you go to schools, there are many challenges here and there, but focus on the major things. The target, the visions, and what has taken you there. I want to end there by letting you know that we all have the inbuilt ability to succeed in life. You just have to learn how to position yourself. I just need to know how long I'm remaining with. I always want to respect time. Actually, I still have some time. Not so? All right. So it is possible to make it through education if you choose to. For those of you who have been complaining, you can make it through education through very, very many other areas. It is unfortunate, and the challenge is that most people, when they are called to be teachers, they only look at education in relation with standing before children and maybe even getting hold of chalk and the blackboard. But education goes beyond that. Do you know that to be an author of many of the books, you use the same principles of education? Okay? That is something that many people have not harnessed in this country. As a teacher, when you launch out there, like I've told you, always participate and be involved in many things. Look at putting value on yourself. I have had my friend there telling me that she has gone to teach business, yet she wanted to learn. There's a lady there who told us the story. Have you forgotten? Teachers should have a strong memory, by the way. Me, I still remember everybody who has said something and whatever, and a few of their names. The teacher said that, what did you say? Can we have the microphone? I still have some minutes, according to what I've seen. You have a microphone there? We have some here. Can somebody help us? Probably. We have actually many. Can you please share us what you said? I want to talk about that line and I will leave here.
I said,
Yes.
when I wanted to apply,
Uh-huh.
I saw on the list,
Uh-huh.
it's written business education.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was a business course,
Uh-huh.
not like teaching business.
Uh-huh.
That's my point.
Hey.
Yeah.
So you thought it's a business course. And maybe did you want to do a business course? Is that what it implies?
Yeah,
Ah.
at first I never had that passion of
Exactly.
being a teacher.
That's what I'm saying. She wanted to do a business course and ended up being a business teacher. Eh? I want to talk to my friend by letting you know that now you are far better than somebody who did a business course. Because besides learning business, for you can do business. Eh? You have learned business and you can even teach others how to do. Who is better? My teacher in business. Eh? My teacher of business. Okay? So as a teacher of business, you can do much more better. There are very many opportunities in education. The challenge is that many people don't take time to harness them. I have told you, and you have seen in in the preamble, that I'm also a business mentor. Did you see that? With Enterprise Uganda, and some other organizations call me to do business mentorship. But I never went to school to do a business course. I told you that the moment you work on your brain of a teacher and you choose to unlock and open your brain, you can learn very, very many other things. You are sharp like this, like a knife. You don't need a lot as a teacher. So now you're a business teacher far more than your friends who went to do business. Okay? If I'm not mistaken, you have learned about entrepreneurship. Is that right? You've done something to do with economics? What else? Huh? Accounting. And finance. How much more? What much more does she want? Don't you think she has got a better and bigger package than she was ascribing for? Huh? She's actually in a far, far better position. I think what I always tell teachers is to think outside the what? Think outside the box. There are many, many other things you can do. Like I've told you about writing books. Who stops you from writing books when you're a teacher? I have my friends who are authors of books. They are big people in this country. They are teachers, grade 5, grade 3, but are making a killing. As I speak right now, in one of my schools, there are people who come to teach these candidate classes. They're about to sit their PLE. Somebody for 3 hours, they're earning 350,000. For 3 hours to stand before and tell children you can pass social studies by doing this and that and that. Tell her, now I'm an examiner of UNEBU, you know, I've taught for 25 years, you know, you can do this and this, always look at this and that. And they get a check of 350,000 shillings. Is that little money? And some even go to 3 schools in a day. I have got a gentleman, a teacher of English. He comes to our school and he told me, Mr. Mwonge, 3 hours is too much. I can only give you 2 hours. That teacher has added the value on himself. Okay? Yes, he's employed in some school where he's earning a salary, but what he's earning out of the school is far more than what he earns in a school. There are very many other things that we can do out of education. Next time I will come, maybe we shall take time but I want you to think outside the box. Be involved in everything. I have got a friend called, I'm in the northern, I'm more of the other side. There's a gentleman called Saka. I've had some Chigana names around. The gentleman writes songs for schools. Who has heard about that name? Paul Saka. But he also writes songs for other schools. Is he a teacher? Is he a teacher? Is he a poor teacher? I learned and thought outside the box. By the way, I didn't tell you, my friends who went to do law, my friends who went to it, always put value on yourself. And the sky is the limit. I am a teacher. I love teaching. I can teach for a whole day here, mister. And I'm still enjoying. Thank you so much. My name is Simon Peter Mwonge, like I told you. A teacher by profession, the principal and the proprietor of the Eaglet Schools. And many other things I'll let you know the next time I'll come. May God richly bless you.
Thank you, sir. When you were asking that, am I poor? Somebody said it was. I think the speeches has been so elaborate. My dear young friends, the reason why we are here, it is very simple. In your life, you have seen a teacher being sent away by the student themselves in the class. If you have not yet seen, but I know you have heard about it, isn't it? A teacher that has been suspended by the learners, not even by the school. Why? The teacher cannot teach well. Have you heard about that story? So many of them has been. That teacher is a trained teacher, qualified from the university, just like you will be one day. However, they lack what Mr. Mwonge said. Beside what you have been taught at the university, the skills which has been put here, it is what had your value. Beside what you have been taught in the pedagogy, you must have the life skills to fit in society. Do we get that? So we are here to get the skills that can make you better, not to be sent away during school practice for dressing badly. Huh? Do we get that? Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Before we go forward, I am sure that you have maybe some few things that you want to find out from Mr. Mwonge. I want to get 1 or 2 or 3 comments or questions before he rests for good to him right now. If you have any inquiry, you have maybe a supplement, maybe you have whatever you have, really I want to get it from you, and he answer it there and then. So the floor is yours briefly for a discussion. Yes?
Thank you very much, moderator. Well, my name is Avigaba Katshabe by introduction, and I'm a year 3 student pursuing Bachelor of Science Education and Culture. Well, I've heard from Mr. Mwonge from his presentation, and it has been interesting and so educative. Thank you very much, sir. Well, for me to just be I'll just make like a top up on what I've heard from him. Well, for me, I grew up with an ambition of becoming an agriculturist, an agriculture officer. But all in vain, when I finished my A-level, before finishing my A-level, we applied for job. Okay, we filled the job forms, and all in vain, after when the results were released, I was given a government course, that is budget, that teachers are poor. But I'm telling you that there's a statement which says that you are poor because you are poor. So simply means that if you cannot utilize the resources available surrounding you, you remain poor. Even if they give you like 20 acres of land, you remain poor. For example, like there in Western Uganda, where the oil was discovered, the Albertan Graben, people are like saying, the Banyura is saying that for us we want to benefit from our oil. But the leaders were saying that you plant your crops, you rear animals, so that if people who are coming, they are coming to establish, to start very many industries and to start very many ventures. So in that way, you'll be getting an open market where you'll be selling your products as well. So in summary, it's that let's be able to utilize the resources around us as teachers. In that way, we shall not remain poor. That instance of saying that we are poor, it's not there. Right now, I'm not poor, and I will struggle and not remain poor and make sure that are transforming the community. I humbly submit. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the supplement. He just made it short and brief and said poverty is in the mind, not in the pocket, right? Yes. So can we get the next supplement? Yes.
Thank you so much. My name is Opore Irdad. Doing Bachelor of Business Education. For me, I would just want an inspiration from him. I heard him say that he began doing business when he was 11 years old. Which kind of business were you operating, sir?
Thank you for that wonderful question. In fact, we want to know. So it is a good and interesting question. Any other? Last but not least? Yes.
Okay, thank you. I'm called John Wamwenda, doing agriculture education. I would also like to know, maybe an opportunity may be open. Which processes did he go through to begin a kindergarten and a flourishing primary school, and even like he said it was funded in 2008. How did he get funds? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. They have been loud and clear. Let me give time for Mr. Mwonge to get back to those two before we move forward. Sir, you're welcome.
Thank you. One of my introductions that I'm a business mentor. But maybe, like I mentioned, you just have to learn to think outside the box. You need to understand what business is all about. Because if you know what a business is a sale of, who knows business? I had a business teacher there. Business teacher, what is business? How do you define a business? Give me one. Today we are not in entrepreneurship class. What is business, everyone? Business is, no, not that one. We are here to understand. A passion? Yes. Uh-huh. 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 Hey. Any other? I'm a teacher. I think I enjoy now to have the interaction, eh? Yes, can you get hold of the microphone? Tell us, what is business? Then I'll be able to share briefly what I did. And it was indeed business. Yes, sir. Business, business, business. Uh-huh.
Good morning, everyone. My name is James Madan, and I'm a business teacher, year 3.
Good.
Literally, a business is an activity involving sale of goods and services with the aim of getting the profits.
The moment you say sale, you have done it all. Can you clap him, please? Business, elementarily, is the act of sale of goods and services. For what? Yes. So, I was selling my goods and services. However young I was. In my days and time, you know, I'm a little bit, not very old, but I moved to another generation. I'm in the other floor 4, pushing to floor 5. So in our days and time, we used to have what we call digital watches. I see very few these days. Huh? And it was common to find a teacher, a child, having challenges with their digital watch. I repaired a digital watch, they pay me money. What is that called? It is a service. That business? We used to have calculators around. and some creatures has had challenges, calculators. I would repair them. What is that? Business. Along the way, I got hold of a camera. I became a photographer. What is that? In 91, I was doing business, and I've done business up to today. All right? It may not have been these formal businesses like I'm doing today, but I've been involved in the exchange of goods and services, getting money, and be able to build the empire today I'm proud of. Have I answered this question? Okay. Another one asked, how did you get, how did you get the funds? Or which somebody else asked me how I got the funds. Another one asked me, what are the relevant procedures of starting a school? Of course, the relevant procedures are there. If you have passion in education, according to the government of Uganda, you must have qualified teachers. You must have the capacity. That's why I talked about harnessing your leadership skills. You remember? Yeah, when I mentioned that. So you cannot be a head of a school when you are not a leader. You understand? So you must go through the leadership and get to have the leadership skills polished. Because you cannot teach others to do what you can't do. You get the point? If you're going to be a teacher and a director of a school under normal circumstances, I know there are some directors of school who are just purely business people. I don't know whether you have some this way. In Kampala, there are many who are starting. But I'm talking about professional business teachers, business leaders, professional school owners. So you must be able to have that capacity. You must be able to mobilize resources and have, we call them premises. The guidelines are there in the ministry, showing you how the type of premises you should have to start a school. But majorly what I wanted to bring out is you must have professional teachers, and you must be able to get resources to put up the structures that are required and the other guidelines that they're talking about. I may not be able to go through all of them as far as this presentation is concerned. Somebody asked me another big question. I have briefly answered it in the first question I answered. How did I get the funds to start the schools? Somebody said that money does not grow on trees. Does it? Money does not grow on trees. So you must be able to offer the goods and services to be able to raise the funds. Simon Peter Muwonge in particular has been doing several things, like I told you, from age 11. And I don't want to tell you that by the time I began schools, I was what I am. I actually began the school, I think, with one class. That is 2008. The kindergarten that we began with. I believe for the first 2 terms, we had only 12 children with one class. And me, I was the teacher, I was the director. By then I was the head teacher. I was the accountant. I was at some point the security guard. And I was the cleaner of the school. That's what I talked about, thinking outside the box. All I needed was to have 2 or 3 rooms around, to have a toilet and a few other minimum requirements, and we began the school. Okay? It kept on growing organically. The proceeds from the school and other businesses, we kept on investing them in the schools. Right now we have, unfortunately, due to some hiccups in technology, I had prepared for you some good photos here. We would see my children, how beautiful they look, the teachers, the staff, and everything. But we began small, as usual, with the little resources we had to make it where we are. I don't know whether I've answered your questions. I don't want to push it into business education because I can do that. That's not why I'm here. I'm here to inspire you that you can make it even through That's my purpose why I was brought in. Gulu, Gulu. Huh? I have got my friend who calls Gulu. Huh? Right there we call it Gulu. But I'm told it is the Gulu. And as a language teacher, I don't want to make any mistake. It is called Gulu. So I'm now in. I am talking to the students of Gulu University. Thank you so much. Hope to see you another time. May God bless you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Muonge, for the explanation on the two inquiries. Ladies and gentlemen, I gave you WhatsApp number. If you have any inquiry related to him or anybody here, please post it. They will be here until we close. I'll read them to them and they are able to respond onto it, right? And then two, all what is taking place right now, it is being streamed live on YouTube. We shall write for you the link and you follow. So either you or your picture is in heaven near God. Huh? Either you yourself or your picture is near God. Right now as we talk, right? We want to go to the next important items, that is the panelist discussion. Allow me to take this time and then introduce the panelists again, right? The essence is, we want you to see how they progress from being, let's say, senior 4 dropout, okay, senior 4 leaver, joined to class, started teaching, went back to PTC and got grade 2, went back and got grade 3, grade 5, up to where they are, right? Are we getting that? Yes, so let me take this time and introduce our first panelist, and that is ladies first, Madam Veni Lamono Mukasa. Madam, please rise up and take up your position. Madam Veni Mukasa, she started teaching in the year 1983. 1983 as a grade 2 teacher. Grade 2 means you come from P7, then join to TTC. She taught, then later in 1985, she went back to the college and got a grade 3 teacher certificate. In 1989, she then joined again NTC Onyama, I think, for diploma in education primary. Then in the year 2015, she joined Gulu University and got a bachelor's degree of arts education in primary. She worked in many schools. She taught in Korabili Primary School in 1984. She taught in VH Primary School in Lira, 1989. She taught in Kiswa Primary School in 1990. And she taught in Kawempe Muslim School, 1991. Then in the year 1999, she was appointed the head teacher of Lakwatome Primary School, where she worked with good results, and then she graduated. She retired in the year 2019. Currently, she's a member of the District Service Commission of Gulu District. Those who recruit civil servants, you can look up onto her. Members of the District Service Commission, a retired head teacher. Thank you, Madam, for the service to the country. Our next panelist is none other than Mr. Langol Rino. Please rise up and take your position. Langol Rino is a retired secondary school head teacher who started, you can take up that position, started teaching way back in 1982 as a licensed teacher. A licensed teacher means you are not a teacher, but government gave you the liberty to teach for a short time, LT teachers. She began from, that is Kalor in Kitgum, and then she moved, what? He? Okay, him. Thank you so much. Yes, he then moved to the college for further studies, where he went and did a Bachelor of Science in McCarran University. Then he came back and started teaching immediately. After that, he was not a teacher by profession, but government said, you teach. So he was given a probation to go back and enroll as a teacher. So he went back and did a PGD in education, science, and he became a teacher who retired in the year 2013 as the head teacher of Onono Memorial College in Omoro District. Right now, he's an associate assessor of Omoro District local government. Thank you so much, Mr. Langolrino. Then we go to Mr. Wanji Francis, is our third panelist. He is a dedicated and passionate educationist with a wealth of experience in the field. He currently works as an education advisor with VVOB, Education for Development, a prominent Belgian NGO with its major task being developing the capacity of teacher trainers in universities and national teachers colleges to support their students, teachers, teach practically. Previously, Francis played a pivotal role in a MasterCard Foundation scholarship program where he spearheaded the provision of career support services to more than 3,000 academically talented yet financially disadvantaged secondary school students across 101 schools in Uganda. Prior to that, he served as an education officer with the Ministry of Education and Sports, contributing to the enhancements of educational initiatives at a national level. Francis holds a master's degree in education administration and management from Uganda's Matters University, a Bachelor of Education degree and a diploma in education from Chambogo University. His comprehensive educational experiences equipped him with a strong foundation to address diverse challenges and drive positive changes in the educational landscape. In addition to his professional accomplishment, Francis actively participates in Rotary activities and is the current president of the Rotary Club of Kampala Central. Thank you, Mr. I think that the last presenter is Kobo Sinje Recho, which I don't have the profile. Please, madam, take up your position. Take up your position. Machine man, if you have the profile, please display on the screen. For Rachel. So everybody have introduced themselves, none except only me. I told I'm called Odida Peter, a secondary school teacher. Currently, I am working at Gulu Central High School. I've seen many of my students here. They look normal, and they're my product, right? I'm teaching there. I hold a certificate in photography and journalism, which I got in the year 2009 when I finished Senior 4. I also have a certificate in mechanical engineering, making generator. That's what I started to pay my tuition fee to Gulu University. I can repair generators, small things. That's what inspired me to go back to school. Then I joined to get what I have right now. Right now, as I told you, I am a master's student, a finalist for curriculum studies of Gulu University. What I said is a true story. Yes, Kobos Inje Rachel is a records and office management in internships at UNRWA. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to the gist of what we have come for today. As you have heard from the brief profile of all these senior citizens, I call them senior because they sustain their career and profession. And their product can be seen, they will testify, right? So we want them to give you practical things. How were they able to do and sustain what they've done for many years? So we want to give them time to address you. Please be very attentive, my dear students who are here, so that you build your capacity and then how to sustain the career. Thank you. Thank you so much, my dear educationists. Allow me to take this time and request you that you first of all greet us so that the members hear your voice and how it is like. You're welcome. Reno.
Thank you, the coordinator. All protocol observed. By name, I'm Langol Reno. As mentioned, Bachelor of Science, postgraduate diploma in education is my qualification. Retired head teacher of a secondary school. I retired 10 years ago, but I'm still active in service because I'm on the board of governors of 3 schools, secondary schools, and I'm an associate assessor. So it's an honor for me to be here to share my experience with you. I started as a trained teacher, graduate and trained in 1979, not in 1982. When I graduated with my Bachelor of Science, I studied biology, chemistry, so I got employment with Ministry of Education as a trained teacher. When I joined the profession, I developed interest, and I changed my attitude towards education. So when I graduated, I took my work well, and I climbed the ladder of head of department, director of studies, deputies, and within 7 years, I became head teacher. That is the time I served up to my time of retirement. As a head teacher, I had other responsibility. I was chairperson of the district Head Teacher Association, Gulu. I was here in Gulu. I was also the chairperson of SESMAT, actually, sub-region. And because I'm still doing some work with the sectors in education, I'm very happy. And my products are there, and always when they meet me, they feel happy. Thank you for this introduction to you. I will come again when necessary. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Madam Benny Mukasa. Please greet us and tell us about yourself quickly.
I'm Lamono Veni Mukasa Mrs. A retired teacher. I qualified as a grade 2 in 1983. And I taught in a classroom for 15 years. From 1983 up to 1998. Then later I had the interest of continuing with the studies. I never stopped as a grade 2 teacher. Because when you join grade 2 teachers, you must pass P7 during our time. With the Division 1, if you have not passed in Division 1, you will never be admitted in PTC, that is Primary Teachers College. By that time, it was called Teachers Training College. So I did mine from Christ the King. Later, when I picked the interest of continuing, I did very many upgrading courses until 2012, when I decided to join university. After teaching as a classroom teacher for 15 years, I came and joined Gulu University. And I qualify with a bachelor in arts education in 2015. Later I continue. I stopped there. I never continue with the more education because I had children also and other challenges. So until 2019, when I retired. But when I retired, immediately, Gulu District Local Government picked me to be the member of District Service Commission. At the moment, I'm a member of District Service Commission. Before I came to Gulu, I was in more with him as associate assessor. We did that work from 2017 up to 2019, when I was still in service. That is how I work. I taught as a classroom teacher for 15 years, 1983 to 1998. Then as a teacher, from 1999 to 2019, when I got retired. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Madam Veni. Please, Francis, can you tell us more about yourself?
Yes, thank you, moderator. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Francis Wanji. I'm a teacher by training, a teacher of biology and sports science. And I taught in a secondary school for about 10 years before I moved on to the NGO world, where I worked as a career advisor. And currently, I work with VVOB as education advisor, and we do capacity development for teacher trainers, among other things. I'm glad to be here, partly because I'm very passionate about career growth. I've done this for quite some years, but I'm also very passionate and very observant, probably because of my science background, about how people do things in their careers and how those different actions affect their career growth or the other way around. So I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to share what I know and probably also hear and learn. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Francis. Madam Rachel, please tell us about yourself.
Hello, thank you, moderator. Good morning, everyone. I'm called Singer Rachel, a Gulu University student alumna. I pursued bachelor's degree in agri-entrepreneurship and communication management, and I completed last year. I'm happy to be here. I'm an entrepreneur. At the same time, I'm a graduate trainee at Uganda National Revenue Authority, where I'm into records and office management in the Directorate of Procurement and Logistics. I'm happy to share with the young teachers around. I'm young like you guys. I'll be happy. I'll be sharing my experience throughout the university. I was here for 4 years, and I'll be glad to share and hear from you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you so much, Rachel, for the elaborate introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall have a panel discussion of around 40 minutes. We shall take around 40 minutes for the panel discussion. So I want to inquire, and then Mr. Reno, please get the microphone. Can you tell us what inspired you to be a teacher?
Thank you. What inspired me to be a teacher was the subjects I took at the university. At first, I wanted to pursue medicine, but when I missed, I was given Bachelor of Science, and those were teaching subjects. And that one really inspired me. And when I completed my course, immediately I got employment straight away for teaching. So I picked interest and I changed my attitude towards education. That is how I became. And I took my work seriously and I built my CV in education. That is what I can say. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Reno Langon, for the brief and clear information. Can I also go to and inquire from Madame Veni Mukasa, in your current field, the current field where you are, what inspired you to take that career? Maybe to extend the microphone. Yes.
Yes. For me, when I was in primary 7, I wanted to become a policewoman. But with the advice from
Volume.
With the advice from the head teacher of the school and my father, because getting money from those days was not easy. I'm the only girl among the boys. That time we were 9. So my father told me to join teaching service. I go for teaching training, and I accepted later after a long discussion with them. And later when I reached the college, I started to admire some other tutors from the college, the way they talk, the way they counsel the students who are not performing well. In fact, they were very social to us. Then I picked interest, and I was very, very, very committed during the course. During that time, you have to study. You stay in the college for 4 years, and you became a grade 2 teacher. Not like these days, only for 2 years. So I studied for 4 years, and I came out immediately. Those days, you don't look for job. Job will wait for you. Immediately you come out, you get the job. So I started teaching, and I enjoy teaching because I have the love for children, and I love also my work. Very committed, very organized in what I do. That is how I inspired to become a teacher until I got my retirement in 2019. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madame Veni, for that elaboracy. Yes, Mr. Francis, what is the most outstanding lesson you have learned in your career?
Thank you very much. I think the outstanding lesson I've learned, probably I'll make them 2. I'll go against the instruction and share 2. One is that responsibility, or when you're given a responsibility, it is an opportunity for you to shine and show what you can do. That is the first thing I've learned in life. And so I loved it when I heard from Mr. Mwonge saying, when you have a volunteer opportunity, take it, whether you're paid for it or not, because you'll be in this room, so many people, or in the classroom or wherever it is, and people will never know what you're good at. You could be a good speaker. When you're given that opportunity, you show people you're good at it, and then more opportunities come. So you need to create those opportunities, but also when you get them, when people ask you to do them, do it willingly. And the second one, there could be many, is that I learned early in my career from somebody that spoke to us when we were still, I think, in the secondary school. And he said, what is worth doing is worth doing well. So personally, the lesson I've learned is that if I'm given a job and I accept it, given the terms, whether they are good or not, as long as I've said yes to it, I'll give it my all. If it means spending a few sleepless nights preparing, I'll do that, because what you have now is what propels you to the next opportunity. So I try to give my all, I try to give my best, such that at the end of the day, I will say, whatever I had wanted to do, I've done it. If it is not good enough, that is the best I can offer. But not to say, I wish I had also done this, maybe this would have come out. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Francis. Madam Rachel, what inspired you to take on your current career?
Okay. Thank you. In my introduction, I told you I'm a young entrepreneur who started running a venture while I was at the university. And the business venture that I started has turned out to be a life-changing business. As I talk now, it has made me what I am. I have moved places just because of the business that I started. My inspiration to that career is, one, I believe in making changing and empowering young people. And since I am a believer in change, I needed to see other lives of people being changed. And the only way I would change the lives of other people was to start a business that would impact the lives of other young people who are unemployed. We well know that as you finish school, jobs are not ready, they are not there. But what you need is to put in effort, start something that can earn you a living. My inspiration being the fact that I needed to see change in my community or the university people around. Since Gulu University, we are transforming the community. So I decided to start a business that would impact the lives of other community people around, because my business is employing about 4 young girls at the same time, impacting the lives of farmers around Gulu City, because I'm into value addition of milk and fresh fruits. So my business has not only impacted me personally, but it has impacted even the farmers who are rearing animals and they have a lot of milk in plenty, but I do buy the milk and add value to that. So I'm very sure I'm impacting them because there is ready market, and also the youth that I'm employing to run the business, they are being impacted. So that's my inspiration towards my career. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rachel. Please let us know also, what are the challenges you met when you were starting your career?
Thank you. We all know, being a business personnel, at the same time I was a student, because what I'm telling you, I did it way back when I was in my year 1 till now. Even after school, I took it up. I didn't leave it just because I had finished school. I had gone through trainings while at the university. So even when I finished school, I continued doing the business. But the challenges I faced, one is high levels of stress. You're always stressed up. How am I going to run the business at the same time do my books? But that couldn't stop me from achieving higher. I remained focused because while I was at school, I always read a lot of books, and there are quotes that kept me moving. And I will share with you my quote is that the key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. I always I used not to schedule what has just come into my mind on that day, but I always schedule my activities that I'm going to do. If it's time for school, I would be in school. If it's time for business, I would prioritize that. In other words, I would tell you as young students, you always keep the main thing the main thing. If the main agenda is to come to school, do a business, let those be the main things. So, those challenges that come in, high levels of stress in running a business, those are just minor. The main thing was, how do I survive after school? And that's what kept me moving, and I didn't see them as challenges, but instead I turned them into opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rachel. Getting back to Madame Veni. Madame Veni, please let us know the challenge you met during your service. During the career, I know you met a lot of challenges. Please let us know what you met during the service. The mic is on.
Yes. When I was a classroom teacher, the first challenge I met was when you don't plan, when you don't prepare adequately, especially the schemes and the lesson plan. Teaching will become very difficult in the class, and you may even give incorrect content to the learners. That is the first challenge I had when I was a classroom teacher. But when I became an administrator, as a teacher, there are certain categories. Some teachers who are very stubborn, and how to handle them was really a big task to me, because they may even disappear from the school without even informing anybody. They come to school without their plan ready at hand. When you need their scheme of work to check, they can even refuse to give you. Female teachers going on maternity leave, there will be a very big gap in the classes, if not planned properly. So, as an administrator, for the start, those were very big challenges to me. Another challenge I met when it has come to Parents' Day, Parents' General Meeting, because that is where parents can come, they could come to school and discuss many issues. Teachers will not be at ease, because the stubborn one will be blamed seriously, including their problem will be faced. Most of the problem will be directed to the teacher. So I really had problems. But later I gained, and I became a very good administrator. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madame Veni. Going on that, Madame Veni, what advice can you give to the graduates who are going to graduate from the university and then would want to go and join the world of work in their career?
Thank you. See, as they are new, they are just going out, they are not even sure of getting job. They may be hanging around with nothing to do. So what we should do is start with anything that can make you be stable. Any small project, like poultry keeping, you may start only with 5 chicks, and you continue from there. As the madam had been talking that she started some time back. So don't sit idle. Make friends where you can consult when you have problems, when you have challenges. And the friends should be good friends, not the bad one, which can lead you to problems when you are out. Make sure make sure when you get some little job with a little payment, because for me, I started as a grade 2 teacher, the payment was very limited, was very meager. But I never gave up, I continue. So when you get a job with a little payment, don't ignore. You do it, you can progress through that one. Those are the advice I can give to you, to those who are going out soon, maybe next year or at the end of this year.
Thank you so much, Madam, for your mature advice. I believe if anybody is having a hand, then must clap. Going to Mr. Reno, please, can you tell us what you have learned during your career, the most outstanding things you have learned during your career?
Thank you so much. What I learned, there are many things, but record keeping is very important. That one touches me. When I was processing my retirement benefit, one document was missing, and that for retirement, and that was my posting instruction, which got destroyed during the war in the north. So I went almost everywhere, I could not get that document. Until when I thought of where I was posted, and that was Kitgum High School. So when I went to Kitgum High School, they looked and they found my file there. And I got that document. Imagine 30 years, and I was going to miss the whole retirement benefit. Because of that delay, it caused me 2 years without money. And I had to do other things, like selling some of my assets because I have children at the university and in other tertiary school. So I learned that record keeping is very important. And my advice to the young ones is that as you get employment, that is the time you should also be preparing for exit. Because the very document which is allowing you into the system will be the very document you will need when you are leaving. So I found record keeping very, very important. And another area which I look at as important is please have a vision and a set goal and work towards that vision. And without a vision, you may not progress much. You must have a vision. And also discipline. Discipline, successful people are disciplined people. So work with interest, be disciplined, keep proper record, do planning every time, budgeting, especially time. If you use your time well now, it will add value to your vision. This one, when I look at myself, when I started work, I was taking things for granted. I was postponing things with no proper planning. And I started planning when I was midway, but that was late. And imagine somebody building a proper home at the time of retirement. And that one is something which normally I share with people. have a vision in what you are doing, plan for your continuous development. Because when you enter into the system, and when you will be leaving the system, you will keep on building your CV, and that one will make you successful in your life. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Reno. When you said that your document got lost during LRA war, they clapped their hands. I don't know why. Are they happy or I don't know. Thank you so much. Going back to Francis, what are the major skills required for the kind of job you do now?
Thank you. There are quite many, but I should say they are not different from the skills that we usually have. The first one is communication. You need to be able to put your point across, explain things, and also convince people to get to your side. Where I work, there are so many ideas, and sometimes they are contradicting ideas. So when you think your idea is good, you need to be able to bring up evidence to prove that it is a good idea. So that is one skill you'll need. The other is technology. I want to tell young people, you need to be good with technology. By now, you must have an email address that is active. By now, your social media page should be in your name. If you're Francis Wanji, the social media page is Francis Wanji. Whoever is looking for you will easily find you. And then you must be good with these simple technologies. Somebody wants you to scan, and you don't have to run to the city to scan a document. You can do it on your phone, okay? You need to be able to join a Zoom meeting, and quickly have a discussion, because that is a skill that you will also need. The other is collaboration. Where I work, there's a lot of collaboration with technology, of course, that when you're working on a document, Bram, who is the education manager, will be looking at what you're doing. Rita, who is the education advisor, will be looking. They can be able to add. They will give you an opportunity to accept what they have added. You can have a quick discussion and then complete the document in a short time without attaching, sending. Then resend, edit, attach, and send. It takes a lot of time. But then I also wanted to add just two more things. And I picked these, and I thought they would be relevant. As I came here yesterday, I read a newspaper that I had kept in my bag for some good time. I'll just use 1 minute to share this, or less. It's the Monitor of Friday, September 29th. And they ran a small pullout of CEOs Midas Touch. They talked about the most successful CEOs, especially during COVID period. And one of them I read is Annie Juko of Stanbic Bank. The story is here. I'll just pick one line. And she was asked about the unconventional skills they hunt for among young people. Now, this is a bank, but the schools are also looking for these. So we can no longer hide as teachers and say, for me, this is not a corporate organization. Schools now have board meetings, they have boardrooms, they have board members who are, doing so well. And she said, for decades, we hired candidates with business-related degrees because this is a bank. But consequently, we have now made some changes. We are looking for future-ready skills. And these skills include automation, behavior science, and people who are good at communication and relationship management. So how well do you work with the people? So you find that your degree in business, your degree in education may not mean much if you cannot relate well with the teachers on ground. So I thought I would mention this. And the last one was from the CEO of Absa Bank. He's called Numba Kalifungwa. If you can find this, it will be a very nice one. I'm actually going to file this. And for him, he says, you have to be reliable, irrespective of where you work. He works in the bank, but I also realize this works for all of us. And he says, for instance, you have some humility in everything you do. He says, for instance, if I commit to getting back to you in an hour, I should. But if I can't, I should call you 10 minutes before the hour lapses to communicate my failure to do so, but also make good on my promise. So many of us, you'll promise my coursework will come in the evening. And then you come in the following day, and that is when you give an excuse why the coursework did not come in the evening. Some people even come late for interviews. So I thought I would mention this as well for young people. But you can actually secure a special interview if, for example, you called in a day before and said, I have lost my aunt, and my service is very critical. In that arrangement, I'm unable to come for this interview, but I'm interested in the job. Would you kindly give me an alternative time? But if you wait and say, I'll go back and explain to them, the world will have moved. So I thought I would share that. As you get into the work environment, work like this is your last job. Work like your life depends on it. And maybe the last comment I'll again make is that the money follows the service, and it is not the other way around. When somebody is promising you a job, please avoid asking how much. Yes? It's a hard thing to do. Naturally, you'll want to know what you are working for. But the questions you should ask are, how much work do you want me to do, in which context? How will you gauge my deliverables? Things like that. Then go in there, give them a good service, and they'll be able to maintain you there without asking you to leave. But if you ask how much, they will know your motivation is the payment. So the young people, if you go out there to do school practice and say, can you also help us with this? Don't say, what is your salary scale? When you do that, it will ring a certain bell in the employers. But once you make yourself valuable, they will give you the value that you deserve. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Francis, for your kind and wonderful advice added. Going on to Rachel, why do you think you are the best person for the job you do?
Thank you, moderator. Why I think I'm the best entrepreneur, and the reason why I'm always invited for such congregation when there are young people who are pursuing similar courses or related courses to entrepreneurship, agribusiness, is that I have remained consistent in whatever that I do. Consistency is key in business, because the moment you start a business, the other day you are thinking of closing, I'm very sure you will never be successful because you won't know what you're good at. So I always consider myself the best entrepreneur, and I believe in the next 2 to 3 years from now, I'll be among the top entrepreneurs around Gulu City or within Kampala, because I'm always focused in everything that I do. I always plan ahead in everything that I do. In case I'm to start a venture, I start planning right away from business plan. I don't just wake up in the morning and I be like, I want to start a business. It starts from the grassroots. Do I have the funds? How am I going to raise the funds to run a business of about 20 million? I will have to think out of the box and know, as a young entrepreneur, I will need to search for funds from different organizations. I will need to write a proposal. So I've remained the best entrepreneur because I'm able to think throughout on how I can raise the funds to run the business. And I've also remained the best because I always find the right business that fits my skills. As I told you, I did Bachelor of Science in Agri-Entrepreneurship and Communication Management. It was basically in value addition of agricultural products. So I looked at something that could suit me. And when I looked at Gulu City, I realized that we had many people that were making heavy losses because they would produce the milk and it goes bad. But I looked at how would I change it into ice cream or making yogurt or making milkshakes. And that would also helped me to think throughout what could best suit me. It was because of the trainings that we used to get throughout our education system. And I want to guarantee you, Gulu University has the best trainings you can ever receive from the Faculty of Agriculture and Environment.
Thank you so much, Rachel.
As I conclude on
yes.
again, also I want to send out this message that being successful won't find you seated in class. And also being in class and attaining a first class won't take you anywhere. As I tell you guys, I got a first class in Bachelor of Science in Agri-Entrepreneurship. I've dropped in application not less than twice a day. But to receive a call that you have been awarded a job, it's not something easy. But your skills that you build throughout your education are going to help you be an impactful person to other lives, not the job that you're going to get. That's why every day organizations are coming up. They're trying to see how can they turn our professionals into business. As Mr. Mongo was sharing, he told you how he has transferred himself from a professional teacher, is running different schools. Even me personally, I'm looking at how I can run different branches into value addition of milk and fresh fruits. And that is my core aim as I speak now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rachel. Can we clap for Rachel? As she wind up, as she now conclude, what kind of education is required for the kind of job you do? Rachel?
What I can say, all courses can be integrated into entrepreneurship. Whether you're a doctor, whether you're an engineer, whether you're pursuing bachelors of science in education, whatever case you're doing, all courses are best for entrepreneurship. As we all know that entrepreneurship is also a career. And I feel entrepreneurship can be a meaningful career because you're going to do things in your pace. You are not controlled by the bosses. I wake up one morning, I've gone for a meeting. My workers will remain operating the business. But if you're employed, and let's say you're working from Monday to Saturday, you'll not have an excuse why you're not working on a Saturday. I always confront my workers if they tell me they don't want to work on a Sunday. I will tell them, you have to work, that's where you get the payment from. So, all courses are best for that. It's only that our universities from different countries and different parts of the country is to bring in the element of entrepreneurship. Whether you're learning education in English, they should teach you how can you start a school, how do you raise funds, how do you develop a business plan. So I feel all courses are very important, and there's nothing like I need to do a specific course. I was lucky enough that I found myself in the best course ever. It's agri-entrepreneurship and communication management. I did not only learn the entrepreneurship, I learned agriculture, I learned how to communicate. So it's because I chose the best course ever. Thank you. Even your course can be integrated into that.
Thank you so much, Rachel, for your kind and elaborate explanation. Francis, as you also conclude, what advice would you give to the graduates who are going to finish their theory in the class and would go to work in the community?
Thank you. The first is have a positive attitude. Have a positive attitude. It doesn't matter whether you like the course that you have taken, that is the one you have. And you can do a lot with it. Because the negative attitude even goes beyond you. People are able to tell that you're doing this just because you have been given a job. So you must be passionate, you must have a positive attitude about what you do. People see. By simply looking at somebody in class, you will tell that this is a teacher who likes what they are doing. This is a teacher who is doing it because they need a job. That is the first thing. The second thing is network. Get to know people. And it is easy to know people. It begins from here. Do you know the person you're seated next to? Can you imagine how many people Rachel knows that I don't know? Such that if I wanted to call up such people, she can actually lead me to them. That is one. The other networking is in our other social places. When you go to church and they say Mass is ended, go in peace, don't run. Don't run. Hang around and talk to people. Introduce yourself to people. And tell them, I'm Francis Wanji. I'm the son to Mr. So-and-so. I'm completing my course in the university. And when there is something to do in church, for free, be available, so that people can spot you and say, that is the person who helped us the other day on parish day. That is how you get recognized. When there is a village council meeting, be there and say something, young as you are, so that people will know that is so-and-so's son who did education in Gulu. When they are looking for somebody to engage somewhere, you'll be there. The other thing is empower yourself. Empower yourself, read. Don't only read things to do with education. Read widely and inform yourself. Okay? On Google, internet, and so on, there is a lot of how to. Okay? How to. Just go into that Google search and say, how to operate a video camera. How to start up a business in education. And these days, there's even more technology like AI, artificial intelligence. It can write you a whole essay about something. That is the other message I can give. So, your positive attitude. And then the other thing is work. Work. Don't give excuses. When it rains, be at school on time. When the weather is bad, be present on time. Don't give an excuse, because that is going to be your brand. Such that even people who don't know your name, they will say, no, it is the other teacher who always helps on assembly. And the other thing is be innovative. I think this would be my second last. Be innovative. Make sure you create something that you have not found there. That when you leave, they will remember, no, it is Sharon who started that thing in this school. Okay? Start up something so that people know there is something extra you added. And it doesn't have to be something you invest money in, but you can just go to the head teacher or whoever is supervising you and say, I think this is the gap I've seen here, and I can be able to do this. The last thing is have a brand. What are you known for? As a teacher, you have to be known for presenting yourself well in all areas, including dressing. You don't have to dress expensively, but you cannot go to school, you cannot go to class with a missing button on your shirt. That's terrible. It is a small thing, but it's a terrible thing for your image. Okay? It is very important that you do that. And the other thing is be known for something. Now that also speaks to your brand. Be known for something, such that people can tell when you want somebody to engage in mobilizing students, it is so and so. When you want somebody to go and represent the school, it is so and so. Okay? It is very important for you to do that, and it will help you to get into your career. And of course, the very last thing is be open. Embrace whatever is available. Okay? And then maybe the very last, sorry, I've already said last, is the best way to start is to start. Don't wait. If I had the time, I would share about 2 experiences, but the time is not available. But start. If it is a business and you are going to sell soap, make sure you have 2 bars of soap and they are in a place that somebody can see that you are selling soap, and start. Don't look for a shop that has power, a shop that has, business plan. What? No. What is it that you want to do? I want to start a school. Here in Uganda, we are quite flexible. All you need is a teacher who can teach, and you are one of them. And Mr. Mwonge has already taught us. I want to end there. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Francis. But before you put down the microphone, you have a question from Patrick.
Yes.
Who said that if you go for an interview, they will say, how much do you want us to pay you? What should be the response?
That's an interesting
You shouldn't ask how much they will pay.
That's an interesting one, and I'll answer it in 2 ways. When you give a very low figure, it shows you don't value your service. When you give a very high figure, it might look like you are over ambitious. Now, the best answer to that is do your research. And maybe the other thing I also have to say is mention a figure. Don't say, I'll follow your salary scale. You must mention a figure. Because to the employer, the figure is extremely important. You must mention a figure. Now, how would you get the right figure? Have some research done. the kind of organization you're getting into, and the relative payment, figures. Are we together? Don't go into an organization and you don't know. Do your research, find somebody who works in such an environment. It may not be the exact organization, but maybe another company that operates in the same business, and get the relative figures. And place yourself somewhere in the middle and mention a figure. Okay? When you say, me, I'll go with whatever you're offering, you're saying something wrong about you. So mention a figure, but let the figure be within your areas that you have researched, and it must be a figure that is not too low. And I must also add, much as you're looking for a job, if you find the figure is extremely low, it is okay to say no. Because saying no means you value the kind of work that you are going to do, you value the kind of service you are going to offer. I hope that answer has helped. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Because of time, we would not now go on to all the questions which has been posted here, but Mr. Muonge has a lot of questions with the brand Tibot. We will get back to it later. Just in three minutes, Madam Veni, please give us a little advice that you can give to the graduates that are leaving to go to the community. Then there definitely Reno will wind up with that.
Thank you. The advice I'm giving to the graduates going out, some I said before, early on. Now, as they get the new job, no matter the payment is very little, you have to be committed in the work you do, and you have to be self-driven and motivated in the work. Don't think of the money, the payment that has to motivate you and you do your work. Two, you are in the community. You have to associate yourself with the people in the rural setting. Make sure you are friendly to them, because there are some graduates, when they are in the community, they ignore those people in the rural setting. Please, mix up with them. You may even get some good advice from them. And when you are starting a business, as I said before, you start with a little, small one, and you continue progressing. You never know what will come later in future. Those are the advice I am giving. For the female students who are soon graduating and coming out, please don't rush and pick a wrong partner. You may remain with you will never progress. You have to be single and study. You study the passion you are picking, and make sure that you understand the passion better. But don't rush, because the passion has money. You can start off your own and you develop. That is the advice I'm giving to them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Veni. Just next to you is Reno. Please give us advice to the youth who are almost going into the field of work. Yes.
Thank you. I will now talk about quality. I believe the young people going to the field are of quality products produced by Gulu University. And now the services they will give to the community should be of quality. Quality embraces efficiency. Quality embraces effectiveness. and relevancy. What you do should be relevant so that the end result is a valid result which is reliable. We are in a competitive world. If you don't meet the quality of the time, then you will find yourself knocked out. That was what we used to say, survival for the fittest. There is competition all around, but positive competition. So you go, do quality services, please, continuous development is very important. It's just a step. Go and register and get more papers, build up your CV. You will now fit the world. Thank you very much. Wish you well.
Thank you so much, everybody, for being attentive during Yes, thank you for being attentive during the short panel discussion. Thank you so much, the panelists, for your elaborate explanation and then inspiring these young boys and girls. I know they have picked a lot out of all what you have said. The stomach is complaining, I think, to everybody. So it's better we first of all respond to it, isn't it? Let the panelists first come down and move with the guests all first out, and then we are going to go afterward. But remember, when you're taking break,
it looks as if you want people properly, because our time is bad.
In the house, may we pray for the breakfast.